This is where the pillar is supposed to go. This is the front right hand wheel arch. The roll cage comes away from this point on the back of here, that's bolted in. That holds the bodywork down. On the top there's a number being written, but you can't really read it anymore. That is a pickup point for part of the space frame that goes to the front shock absorber frame. It all ties into the space frame. Pillar from the other side. Again, door hinges attached there. That's for check strap. The door opens. This bolts into what should be a honeycomb panel from one side to the other, but it's a bit broken. Some nameless rib nuts in here, I don't know what they're doing. These bolts here are where the roll cage attaches. There's two more on that side. So there's a flange goes round and the roll cage tube comes off. And the bodywork is the roof, the windscreen aperture and door opening was all plastic. And that drops on, and this bolt secures that. And it's also riveted down the sill. So this bit is well mashed. Part honeycomb, part steel. All of it's damaged. So we'll get it off the better blast and we'll get a coat of cleaning on it and see what we're left with. The A pillar is back from better blast and it is a lot worse than I thought it was going to be. It's just been in the paint stripping bath. It hasn't been blasted, but it had so much gunk and sealant and paint. If it had been blasted, by the time the paint and the sealant had been eaten through, it would have taken metal with it as well. And once I've got it apart, it will be blasted, or the steel will. This is honeycomb aluminium and it's really been crunched. It's not good at all. But what I thought was just an attachment angle up here, which would just de-rivet, come off and release that, is nothing of the sort. It's spot welded all the way up on this side. With so many rivets, I just thought it was all held on with rivets, but it's not. It's spot welded. So I'm going to have to get all of those spot welds out to get that attachment angle off, to fix the attachment angle, to fix the... Well, that's that apart. So that attachment angle, it's a few holes in it, but you know, it's off, which is the main thing. I've got to get this honeycomb panel in next. I don't know what's got that. Hey! Right, there we go. I think it's safe to say that we're going to have to retire that. The A pillar's back from better blast, and it isn't any prettier than when it left. It's clean, but it's no prettier. So I'm going to give it a good looking at, work out what needs to be fixed, dream up some repair schemes, and we'll make a start on it. I'm off to clear up this mess, and this really is a disaster. What happens is this point here tears out, or it has torn out several times. So it was originally welded to this bit, which is continued there, but it's torn through that. So this patch here has been welded in, and that's been attached to that, which has been attached to that, and a few rather manky plug welds. And then that hasn't worked, so this patch, which I've since cut out, has been put over the top of all of it. That's the remnants of it, and that was 3mm. And it's no good keep fixing stronger and stronger and stronger stuff onto something that isn't very strong at all, because this is just going to fail somewhere else. So this conglomeration of bodges is all piled on top of the thinner metal, which is what I want to keep and put to right. So I'm going to have to grind all of this off and then release that patch and grind all of that off and get all the way back to this. So I won't bore you with loads of grinding, I'll just go off and do it. That was a lot of grinding. And it still looks like an ugly mess. But the difference is it's down to one thickness now. It's not patch on top of patch on top of patch. I'll see about getting a bit of shape back into this now. That's looking a lot happier now. A lot of the shape's back in it. This bit here, which I'd forgotten about, steps up there for some reason. I've taken that fixing point out because it'll have been in the wrong place. A lot of the shape's done. Still got to sort that out, so I'm going to cut the side out and do it again. Otherwise, it looks a little bit like what it's meant to look like. Now we're getting somewhere. What I've done is cropped 70mm off the bottom, welded a piece of new material on, and that has had the effect of pulling the last of the shrink out of the bottom, last of the stretch I should say, shrinking it. It's now nice and flat, nice straight edges, ready to go back. And bear in mind that by saving that bit, it means that it saves all of this where the door closure is and all the double skin spot welded whatever, so it's well worth the effort to save it. So 70mm on there, there's about an inch to go up there. I'm going all imperial now. There's a piece missing over there for whatever reason. This bit is pretty nasty and will have to be largely replaced, but that's not a big job, and there's a hole to fill in there with a nice patch, but really taking shape now. That's going to be good as new. Oh, and a load of rivet holes to weld up, but we'll get to that. I took the executive decision that this part is finished. The welds have gone through, the metal's burned, it's corroded. It just wasn't going to perform. So it's out, but I tried. I gave it a go, and it wasn't retired until I was absolutely positive it needed to be retired. So I didn't just gratuitously hack it out and throw it away. So that's that patch established all the way around. Everything's level, everything's flat, everything fits, gaps are good. It's very important though, having got it to there, to get round the back with a dolly and a hammer and stretch all the welds, because if you don't, the whole thing will buckle when it's welded, and I want it to stay nice and flat. So that's the next job.
Go.
Rolling?
Yep.
Right. End of part one. Most of the big repairs are done. Structurally solid. All the shape is back. Lots of detail to do. We've got lots of holes to weld up and a few small patches and a few improvements, but I'll get to them in the next video. And if you've enjoyed watching, don't forget to do the likey subscribe thing, wherever it is. And we'll see you in part two, and thank you very much for watching.